Hi, my name's John Cordy. There's two things we know about me on this channel. One is that I'm the king of metaphor and figurative language. And have you ever been kind of in the mood and you're thinking that you're really doing things really well? Turns out that you've been blasting away at the wrong and essentially you've just wasted your time. That's been my life up till now with the camera. And so 2021, I thought the idea would be that I'd try and at least maybe sort of 50% of the time have things in focus. That's the goal. And then the second thing is I wanted to announce that I've got a videography course coming and you can join that. It's going to be a weekend kind of course and yeah, you can learn all of my best tips from that. That's a joke. So what I really wanted to talk about was second week looking at ALLEN HINDS, and since it's a Monday, this means we look at lick lessons. If you want access to my backing tracks, the licks and the chord melodies and all that stuff that I do every week, you could join my Patreon. It's just like £3 a month, $4 or something like that, and you basically get access to all of my backing tracks, which is like a daily thing if you want them. A weekly kind of chord melody lesson, and then a weekly lick lesson, and then kind of little bits and pieces in between as well occasionally. So hopefully it represents sort of vaguely good value. That's the goal. I don't really want to rip anyone off. So if you're into guitar stuff, then hopefully that might be worth taking a look at. If not, you can just keep watching these videos, and commenting and liking and supporting also helps, and hopefully I'll be able to show you in a way that you don't need to support me on Patreon to get something out of the stuff as well. That's the goal, really. So here's the lick from ALLEN HINDS, and I think it's from a live recording, Confiata or something like that, and Jack Roy Lee from Patreon asked me to look at this. Here's the lick at tempo and a few times slower, and let's try and talk about what's going on here. In D Dorian. Well, I should say we've got a vamp which is sort of in D minor. So D minor pentatonic would be kind of the probably the vibe that you'd go for if you were playing over this. I don't really want to talk too much about the timing of it because the timing seems to me a little bit strange, but there is also other useful stuff we can glean from this lick. So I think he starts sort of on the fourth beat of the bar, and this sort of goes through a couple of bars, and the timing to me, I think it's sort of playing sextuplets or divisions of six, but it's sort of loose timing wise, and you'll probably find this quite a lot of the time when people are playing legato stuff or fast stuff. The subdivisions get a little bit blurred. Potentially the technique is what is dictating how those lines actually end up happening, because it's sort of playing at the breakneck tempo or as fast as you can play it is sort of, yeah, anyway. So the lick does this. I think it's something like that. So where are my glasses? Slowly the lick does this kind of thing. So pentatonic, and I think it's like a double attack here. That kind of thing, I think. So a little bit faster. So, and then very quickly through what the actual notes are again. So F, G, C, G, F, A. So a big stretch there. and then up to a D, A, G, A, and then double hit the A again, and we end up with this kind of A, B, C, and then up a string to the F, C, B, D, G, D, B, D, then E, F, A, F, E, G, B, G, E, G, and then a doubling of the G, G, A, D, A, G, B, E, B, A, C, F. And what I just played there is, I think, maybe what Allen might have practiced. So that double hit in the middle, I don't think is necessarily what he was aiming for. It might have been like a timing thing, or maybe just a heat of the moment thing. But I think what he might have practiced is this kind of thing. And rhythmically, it's kind of got this really nice feel to it. And I'm not really sure what he's doing picking wise, so up to you to kind of work out how you want to do it. I know he's kind of a legato focused player in the main. But that to me feels like maybe what is worth practicing. So if you just play it in even fours, and you get this kind of rhythm to it, which I think flows really nicely. What might you do instead of playing this whole line, and what else could you do with this? So the line goes like this again. So what might you do instead of just playing that note for note? One little part that I kind of like the sound of at the end there. That little lick at the end, I think, gives us plenty to work with. So you could move that around as a concept. So this is something that I'm going to try and practice throughout the week. Do that kind of thing. Maybe you could move it around to other strings and move it onto another string set, but the same notes. So and then maybe down an octave. Maybe just fix it into some other kind of licks and into other playing, but that's kind of the concept. But I think it sounds kind of cool when you get it a little bit fast, but I think even slow, it does give you that kind of slippery Allen Hinds feeling. But really kind of interesting lick, I think. Quite difficult for me to play at the moment. As I've said before in this kind of thing, these are things that someone like Allen has probably practiced quite a lot. If you practice this kind of thing a lot, you get it to the stage where it starts to feel natural, I think, and that's when it starts to come out in your playing. So what this really means for you, if you've just come across this lick like me, what it means for me is that I'm going to have to sit down and play this at varying tempos and starting off really slow. And practice that kind of thing before that as a concept maybe might one day kind of crop out in my playing. And if I transform it, it's even more likely to one day show up. That's why I do that kind of thing. That's why I might kind of try and transform the lick in some way, so that I'm trying to kind of conceptualize what's actually going on in the lick and try and get it under my fingers in a way that I can sort of manipulate it a little bit, so that I'm not just playing the same lick. That's what I would do with that lick, and that's, I think, roughly what Allen was playing in that opening clip. I've tabbed out for you what I think he was playing. I've evened out the notes a little bit. Those are the notes I think he's playing. I'm going to also put in like the idealized version of the lick in a way that I think I would practice it, and then just some of those little transformations that I would do there that I've just shown you. So hopefully that's vaguely interesting. That was one of the more interesting licks that jumped out from kind of watching some of Allen's playing that Jack Roy asked me to kind of look at. There's a few more kind of phrases, so maybe I'll do a part 3 at some stage, but this lick here in specific is plenty for me to practice on for a while. If you want to get the tabs for that, as I say, they'll be on Patreon. This preset I'm using right now is HBE Bind, which is a Helix preset. Yeah, you can grab that in the description if you want, but thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you for another video soon. Cheers!